Hello, this is Marianne and it's my first video on the channel. I will be sharing with you my OCD journey, how it started, what was the process towards the recovery, and how it's going right now. So actually, my OCD started since my childhood. However, it wasn't really obvious. I didn't know that I have OCD. I was having like those childish fears, like some nightmares, panic attacks, physical anxiety, like always stomach ache and not feeling good, always like sick, tired. Also, like I said, the childish fears, like fear from the dark or like nightmares, but I used to have them like higher than, let's say, other kids. Like they used to really make me anxious a lot. But of course, like my parents and I, like they thought that okay, it's only like childish fears. So, however, at 17, when I was 17 years old, like it all changed in one night. It really can change like this in a second. So I had a panic attack, like the usual panic attack, but this time it was like something exploded in my head. The OCD thoughts were all over the place, 24/7. I couldn't stop them. I didn't understand what happened. Like really in 1 second, my life has changed and I couldn't go back to what I was before. I started having chronic OCD, chronic fears, chronic panic attacks, chronic fast heartbeats, nausea, headache, blurry vision, lots of physical symptoms along with the thoughts. So first I thought that okay, I'm going crazy. Like there's something in my head that I cannot stop. I cannot stop thinking about the thoughts and I don't know what's going on. So it was like at first it was really hard to accept this, and I couldn't also explain what was happening to me. My parents couldn't understand what was happening to me. I changed a lot. The topics or like the themes that I had were like mainly it started with health OCD. So I started avoiding lots of stuff to not like, have a virus or not to die from something dangerous. So like I started avoiding to go to parties because there will be lots of people there and I will catch something. Or I started avoiding to go out because I was fearing, like for example, to be hit by a car and die. Then it led to existential OCD. So I started like questioning everything with huge anxiety, huge. I couldn't really accept the uncertainty of the universe. Then I had ROCD and harm OCD. The harm OCD was also a big one. Fear of harming myself or harming my loved ones. So it was jumping like 1 week harm OCD, 1 week ROCD. So yeah, it was entertaining me a lot. Really fun. And then I decided to go to psychotherapy because I felt that okay, there's something wrong, like this is not me, I need help. So I went to psychotherapy. In psychotherapy we were analyzing my past, my childhood, with the concept that okay, if we are aware of what is happening in our childhood or what happened in our childhood, we will break this cycle. So I did psychotherapy for 6 years, waiting for the magical information that will break me free from this cycle. However, it's not the case. So it was helpful in a way that it helped me to be aware, okay, of the dynamic that I'm living in, of the stuff that I like and what I don't like. Like it helped me to feel better, but never to recover. Like it didn't lead to recovery. It was just helping me and motivating me to carry on with life, and there was lots of reassurance in there. So I was living on reassurance. It's like an addiction, a drug. Like, I'm going to the therapy and she's gonna tell me that I'm a good person. She's gonna tell me that I'm not gonna do this. She's gonna tell me that I'm not gonna die. So yeah, it was like more of a drug pill for me. I also took medications as well. They helped to like take the edge off, which was fine for me. And after 6 years, I thought that, okay, I'm ready to stop psychotherapy. I want to start living without this. I'm fine, I recovered, all is good, life is good. So I stopped. And after a few months, I had a huge relapse. It was like the biggest relapse that I had so far. And when I had it, I just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm okay to be a carrot. Like, I want to become a carrot, a frog, anything else than this human. Like, I don't want this brain anymore, and I don't want this life anymore. Like, this is not what I want. It was really tiring. And even though I was feeling better, but the OCD thoughts were always in the background, I still had the anxiety, physical symptoms, and it wasn't really helpful at all. So when I had this relapse, I started searching compulsively, of course, on Google about OCD again, trying to find like the magic pill for it. And then by this research, I reached OCD recovery page on Instagram, Rob's page, and I started reading the posts. And I remember, like, at this moment, I felt so happy, and it was like amazing, because after reaching each post, I was able to really identify to what he was saying. And it was the first time that someone really explains OCD in real words, like really what it is. And it helped me really to shift my perspective to another point of view towards this OCD. So like, first I was like fearing it and like thinking like, this is really rocket science, like what is this thing? But then after reading the posts and then I watched the videos, I was able to start seeing it, not to totally see it, but I started seeing it. Okay, I can see what it is right now. It is a fear cycle. And so it was amazing. And I decided to contact Rob. So I contacted Rob and I had my first session. So my first session was really like demotivating, because I was waiting for him to reassure me, as my old therapist used to do. And he didn't. So it was really like, oh my God, I'm not feeling better after this session. Like, I don't know if this is right. But after this, I read the books that he recommended and that they are also mentioned in our reading list on the website. I started reading the books, and they really, really shifted my perspective. I understood what Rob was saying to me in the session, and on the page, I really understood from where this is coming from. And I decided to continue with the sessions. So at first, after reading the books, I started to dispute compulsively, because I thought that, okay, if I dispute now, all my fears, I will feel better, and I want to feel better in 1 week, 2 weeks. So I was putting deadline, and a really fast deadline, irrealistic deadline. It's not something doable, actually, in my case. So, and by this level, I stopped disputing, and I started to practice to sit with uncomfortable feelings, with uncertainty, and accept that I won't be changing right now. So accept the OCD and its feelings and everything. So I did this for a long time. So I stopped disputing for a long time, because I really didn't have patience. I wanted like to fix it right now, and I can't stand like sitting with those emotions and those thoughts anymore. So by practicing this, it really helped me to be calmer and use like disputing in a balanced way, not in a compulsive way, because as you know, in OCD, everything can become compulsive, even disputing. So disputing will become something that we are using in a wrong way. After I reached a level where I'm good at sitting with discomfort, accepting it, I started to open up again to disputing in a balanced way, and I started taking it seriously, because when I first started to dispute, I thought that okay, this is like a homework that I will do and it will be the magic pill, I will feel better. However, when I restarted it, I started looking at it as a process that will change my beliefs, my perspective towards life in general. So I stopped taking it as something to recover from OCD, or I started taking it as something to have a better quality of life and a better approach to life. And when I started doing this is when really it started changing my mind. So bit by bit, day by day, I started feeling okay, better. My perspective towards my fears became different, and also I did some exposures, which were also really important with the disputing, because they were proving to my brain that okay, this is not really as bad as it is, and then backed up with the disputing. So it was a good combination. And bit by bit, I started looking back, and I'm okay, I am feeling different. It's really changing. And also I started even breaking my small fears that used to cause small avoidance behaviors, small compulsions, that I thought that okay, it's fine if I do this, or it's fine if I avoid this. But actually those small avoidance and small compulsions are also part of the cycle. And if you want to break the whole cycle, we need to get rid of or break down everything in it, the small and the big. So I stopped avoiding some stuff. For example, I used to always avoid to sleep in the dark. So I started sleeping in the dark, thanks to Nick as well. He was the one that was really you will sleep in the dark. So I started sleeping in the dark. And what else? Watched horror movies to sit with the discomfort. And also regular, not compulsive sessions with Rob and Nick. The shift started to happen bit by bit, and it's really a process which needs time and dedication and understanding and patience. And after this, the brain will start shifting to the new path and adapting to it. Because at first when I started, I thought that okay, acceptance is a threat for me. I cannot accept, because I was confusing acceptance and agreement. I was okay, if I accept this fear, it means that I'm gonna do it or it's gonna happen. But actually, bit by bit, I started to see that okay, if I'm accepting it, doesn't mean that I am agreeing with it, doesn't mean that I'm gonna go and do it. It's just that I'm gonna accept myself, the others, and life if this thing happens, even though I don't like it. So it took me a while to really understand the difference, because even though consciously we understand the difference, but unconsciously the brain doesn't understand it. It takes repetition and practice for it to really absorb this concept. So it takes time to first absorb the basics by reading the books, and then to absorb the difference between acceptance and agreement and the disputing process. It also takes time. But with practice, of course, everything comes its way. And like right now, I'm really far away from what I used to be before. I have overcame many fears, and now I'm seeing like life and many concepts in life in their reality, without the illusions that we have in our brains towards them. And at this stage, yeah, I'm still like practicing to like make the recovery more solid, make the new beliefs, the rational beliefs, more solid. So I'm still not like really 100% recovered, but it's totally fine because it's much better than before. And yeah, so not recovered doesn't mean suffering 24/7, but it's less suffering because also you start to see the OCD in another perspective. So this is like fear of fear. I started accepting as well that, okay, even if I don't recover, it's not the worst thing in life, even though I will have like many frustrating moments, many down moments, but I stopped seeing OCD as a life stopper or like a disaster. Yeah, so this is my journey, and thank you for watching.